Hey there, this is Sidra and you're watching me on my YouTube channel Trends 21. Today I have made a content for the teachers specifically because I have noticed during my career that this was very important. If I had got some workshops for the growth and if I was in touch with those who were experienced, but usually I noticed that no one wastes time while teaching, while training someone who is new. So I have made these points and I wish that you will like them. Now let's move towards point number 1. This is obvious that if a teacher is apparently neat, clean, I'm not talking about beauty. If a teacher is beautiful or not, she or he must be an icon of perfection for the kids. No one could be perfect, but he or she must be as much near to the perfection, because teachers are the embodiments of dreams of the kids. And very soon we come to realize that our kids, our students are just indulged in us just because of our perfections. So my first point is related to the perfection of a teacher. Apparently, she must be or he must be cleaned, and they must be very clear-headed about their attitudes physically. Now let's move towards point number 2. The point number 2 is very simple in 2 words: be disciplined, but it occupies a very large area inside. If you are irregular, means you are not attending your classes, your students would never be serious about studies. So be regular in your lessons, in your classes, and be disciplined, because whatever you are displaying in front of your students, they are definitely adopting them. Now, next point is related to the internal side, that while entering in the classroom, before starting anything, before even writing the dates or whatever you are going, the margin ends and outlines or whatever you are making an embellished whiteboard, you will have to write a message upon the board. That message must be having a very deep meaning. It should be shortest, means try to write the message of just 1 word, and even if it is of 2 words, it's okay, but it should not be a full line or very long sentence, because you'll have to take those in your mind who are least interested in studies. The intelligent ones definitely are waiting for your message if they are used to see you every day writing a message on the board, and they are definitely fond of it. But those who are least interested, they must be also fond of your message. That should be your target. So the message you write, after putting on all the formalities upon board, after writing all, just explain that message. For example, if I enter in the classroom of Montessori, I will write oxygen. They could never be, I have done it personally, they could never be even spelling it or reading it, but they will see that there is just 1 word. I have personally experienced it. It was Montessori Part 2, means M2. I wrote the word oxygen and everybody was just getting bored and watching the board and said, "Teacher, what is this?" I said, "Just wait a little. Do you know what is oxygen?" I started explaining them. And when I explained it, they said, "Wow, we have learned a new thing." And with the passage of time, a time came upon me when I entered in the classroom, everybody started screaming, today's message, what you are having for us today, teacher?" They were not interested in the candies I had in my bag. They were interested the material I had in my brain. So be sure about it. At every level, if you are teaching Montessori, if you are teaching master's classes, you must be having a message for every day. And while leaving, you will write it again on the board. So for the sake of revision, You are writing it and children will be speaking it up. Some intelligent ones will speak more, but you will have to see that overall how much they were or they are interested, and you'll start enjoying it. Now, point number 4. Being a teacher, you are fully aware that this is easier, much easier to teach the intelligent students instead of those who are unintelligent, and to some extent they are least interested. So my message for you is that if you pay just 3 months upon those who are not interested, if they are mentally retarded, you can't help it ever. But if they are neglected in their pasts and they have become in a habit, they have joined this habit that they are not interested, you must be spending your all energies upon those, and you'll get the results within 2 months. And you'll come to know that this is pleasurable and this is enjoyable, being an employee and being a teacher. It will lessen your work a lot. Trust me. For 2 months, if you focus upon those who really need you, the intelligent students are already shaking their hands with you, but you need the hands of those who are unintelligent or least interested. I personally passed through this situation that one of my students used to be standing whole the day in the classroom. I was a general teacher at that time. It was the very first year of my career, and I was just fed up while watching that student. He was a little child. It was Montessori level 2. So I was seriously sick because of that child. I realized how to handle him. I took just 3 days. Even I was confused. And after 3 days, I got confident, and then I handled that child in a very different way. Today, I am going to share that trick for the difficult ones. Whenever I saw him, he was definitely standing. I gave him a way. I said, Haris, if you finish your work, you are allowed to stand. If you don't finish your work, you are not allowed to stand. And even when I am delivering the lecture in the Montessori, I used to deliver the lecture because it was helping me, and I used to do that for the betterment for both of them, for myself and for the students also. While delivering that lecture means I'm just telling you about the concepts I used to discuss with the children. I stood him beside me and I said him to listen it carefully. He felt it was very respectful for him because he was standing with the teacher. And I several times said that now Haris is going to teach you. He came to know that this is something different because he was not respectful at home at all, and he was not even reverent amongst his friends. So this was the very first time when somebody gave him a respect. Give respect to the students and you will get the results. The next point is related to the strongest part of the career of a teacher, that is the homework of a teacher. Usually we see that we deliver homework to the teachers. No, this is related to ourselves firstly, and then we are able to deliver homework for others also. If we think that we are teachers and we don't need to do our homework, this is totally wrong. I don't mean that you have made your planners and you have make your circulars. No, I don't mean it. I mean that you must be having some papers in your hands. You should not be having some material in your brain. I mean, you must be having a material in your hands. You could never be forgetting any point if you have written your work on the papers. And during my career, when I was teaching, I had a file in which I used to put all those papers which were related to the homeworks I made for the children, along with the dates. This helps a teacher a lot. It is a very significant point to focus upon the creativity instead of cramming. It will help you and your students, obviously. For example, if I am supposed to tell them about the qualities of a table and I have to remind them, means to cram them, to learn them, an essay on a table, I should never be giving them notes, or I should never be writing it on the board, even if I am ordered from the authorities that I should be teaching them this or that. And no, don't follow these rules. Place a table in front of them. Talk to your principal. If you are not having a table, ask them to provide you a table. And even if they don't, just take your laptop in the classroom and show them the table. After getting that table, tell them that this is a table. It is having this color. Its wood is very good. Its texture is very nice. It is bigger in size or smaller. Every detail, at least every detail you can explain, you must explain. And then write it on the board in the form of points, not in the form of sentences. Write just the points. Ask the intelligent students to make sentences in the beginning, so it would be thrice repeated in front of those who are not intelligent enough. So after repeating 3 times, you are going to ask finally from those who are least interested in studies. You will get to know that they are really interested at one side and they are enjoying you. This is the real goal to which I am directing you. Another very significant point that affects you and your students equally is that you are providing them a chance to talk their heart stories. Write upon the board once in a month or twice in a month, whenever you are getting a chance. For example, if you are having a free period and you are asked for the substitution in the classroom, you can go inside and talk to them in this way. Many times we get a chance to discuss these things in the classroom, because in my career, I used to spare some times with the kids to ask them about their hearts. This is really important. Give them a chance to speak. Give them a chance to speak and don't judge them. And you will come to know very soon that they are superhumans. They are really nice. To some points, you will find yourself as a student and they are the teachers. They will teach you a lot. This is quite debatable, because some teachers are against of this point, but I have personally received the fruit. It depends upon you if you want to do that or not. Even you can ask the authorities for this reason. Spend your little amount, means a little amount of money from your salary, spend upon them. For example, someday you are bringing some chocolates for the students, or someday you are bringing some drinks. You will just have a little party in the classroom and you will ask authority to give you a chance to celebrate that. It should be from your pocket. It will make a very different relationship, and really you will be the best human if you are giving way to those who are neglected at homes. I have seen many students with the a little experience. I should discuss it in here. One of my students named Ahmed remained silent for 1 month. I daily noticed him. I wanted to provoke him. I wanted to ask him what was inside. I was unable, because during the class time, I was passionate about the students, about the teaching methods. So to some extent, I was failed to give proper time to him. I started giving him time in my free period. When he's having lunch, I just tried to make a good relation with him. I came to know that he was the best painter and he was having the mind-blowing writing expression. And I came to know that he was having some problem at home. I met his parents. I came to know that was a huge riot between his parents. And I really felt that he was blessed but neglected. So this is your duty, to give time to those who really need you. This is best for you and for the students also, because you are not only teachers, you are humans too, and you are responsible for your deeds. During PTMs, teachers are supposed to tell the stories of their kids. I mean the kids of their parents. Sugar-coated, or you can say artificial. Please don't do that. Take a stand in front of your authorities and inform them that you are not supposed to be the monkeys having buttons in them. Means they should not press the buttons and you should act upon whatever they say. This relates to the career of a child and the deeds, what you are doing at your workplace. You will be asked for this. At least your brain is responsible for what you are doing. So be very clear about the kids you are teaching. And this is not the fault of their parents. If they are unintelligent, if your students are unintelligent, this is not the fault of their parents. And even it is not related to you. But we cannot say, I personally cannot say that this is not your fault. This relates to you more than the parents. So you are responsible for the unintelligent ones and the intelligent ones also. Do your best, spend your best upon the children who really need you. Again and again I am saying this. And other very important point is that a teacher is recognized by the behavior she overall or he overall has among his colleagues also. So you must be very clear-headed about your colleagues, in front of your colleagues. You must never be having any riot, any calamity, any fight with your colleagues. If there is a scene created by someone, you must be avoiding it. This is the real reference of a good teacher. So this is very important point. I remember that I was the head of the teachers on the side of English department, and I used to make tea for them, and they were surprised to see this. They often asked me that, don't you feel odd when you are making tea for us? I said, no, this is my pleasure. So be very humble, down to earth, and deliver a message that you are a good human. Means you are trying to be a good human. You could never be claiming that you're a good human. So this is related to your reference, your recognition, your identity. Fight for it. I have left a very technical point in between. I have seen it on my notebook. That is that whenever we are relating to the discipline in the classroom, I have seen it that if your class is making noise, the principal is coming to your classroom and she just wants you. She blames you for that noise. I don't believe it. It is unfair, I believe. The students must be noising. If they are not doing work, they must be permitted to make noise. What is in it? Even if we women, kids and girls, whenever we are sitting somewhere, we used to talk to each other. So if you are talking to each other, what is a big deal in it? Let them do that, but in a slower mode. I always said my students, make noise, but in a slower mode, at a low note. And they liked me for that. Now, back to the point. If you are supposed to stop them from making noise, there is a trick. Don't say, class, don't make a noise. You are making noise yourself. How can you stop them? Say them, shh, shh, don't make noise. So they will be stopped. As same as is related to the respect. If you are asking them, I'm saying this to the parents also, if you are asking your kids, your students to pay heed to their words and to accept whatever they say, and you yourself are not accepting what your kids are saying, think about it. Give respect and get respect in return. Last message is very important for the teachers. Don't compromise upon your success. I mean, you must be stiffed always for the race you are going on. I mean, for upgrading your levels at one side and for seeking a better place always, a better condition, a better position always. Means ask your authorities to increase your salaries, because I am really annoyed while watching the salaries in my country, unfortunately. So you must be having an elevated reputation, and you must be upgrading your condition, and you must be demanding for your betterment. Thank you so much, and thanks for listening me. Goodbye.